Let's see the beauty of recursiveness.
Just copy CPOR. Like what the fuck? Everything works. No wait.
Okay, I think it works. Everything looks great. Let's see the stream, if the stream is okay. Yes, recursiveness to the top. I'm gonna send this to you guys. Copy video URL. Where can I put this in launch? In launch or
Program.
Basta. Stream about template. Oh, name. Ja, ik heb geen twee schermen, dus...
Wat is test copy CPOR? Dat betekent tot het dan. They want copy constructor? Okay.
Okay, that's okay.
What the?
It's gonna be annoying. And that's also gonna be annoying. That's also gonna be annoying. And trippy as hell. So let's make a new project. Not a monogame one. It's in C++. Just a blank slate.
What the hell?
Definitely not this one. C++. There, there's game engine off all the way before. Predefined. No. Where is the normal console app? Yes, there he is. It's just a console app application, right? For you guys?
Yes.
Set that down. Console application project. So what will we make today? I think a linked list incorporating templates. Let's do that.
Yes. The thing is, it's contained class, but then converted to like templated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I will make it from scratch.
Ah,
And,
yes, sorry.
so let's see. Let's first add a new CPP file, or yeah, CPP file for the main, so that we have actually something to test it with. Edit. No, I don't want the class. Can't I just make a? Why doesn't? They don't allow to add in just a new item. Yes, CPP file. Thank you. Main. Okay, so this is set up. So what we will now create is a new class. A new class. And that class will be called linked list. Base class, there's no base class. Okay. And then for the linked lists, we will also need a node.
Noding.
Because otherwise you...
Also, we're going to do the linked list and not
the normal, yes, vector class that you would make. Or we could make it first the vector class, and then see the difference between...
I think the container class.
Yeah, in fact,
the best,
container class. So, so I'm gonna...
list.
Why I'm calling this a vector, by the way, is because of the notation that you all also will see with std vector.
Yes.
I will make it as similar to the std vectors in use. Vector. copy. Okay. So first,
It says HD quality, but it's unreadable as fuck.
It is readable, man.
it is definitely readable.
Ah, now it is.
I should look at this. No, that's the vector class. So in the vector class, we need a private data. Also, it's a template. Is that not going to do it? Nope. Wait. Template. Now I need to check something. It's also a long time ago for me.
Does it need to be above public?
Yes.
No, buff class.
Or above class?
Class structure. And then template.
Just sketching it for me. Yes. By the way, guys, I will be using this as reference. It's an old tutorial from C++.net, .com I mean. Wait. And then plus T. So we have a data member that's a pointer to an array, and that will be our data. So what we'll need for that data? We need a pushback, we need a size, we need a capacity, some stuff that we need. So we need an int capacity, t, int size. Come on, E. Thank you. Then we also need a pushback, a public void push back. What I also will make do the pushback do is return the T back again. So that if you push it back, that you instantly also have a copy of it yourself. If you created it in the brackets themselves. So the class T will then also be a and we will make this
How do you write public before the T pushback?
oh yeah, C++. I know C sharp. I'm used to that at the moment.
Ah, okay.
That's C sharp. Everything you need to place in front of it. Every time public you need to place in front of it. Same with private or protected. So that's the pushback. Size. Capacity. Reserve. I think did I write it wrong? Reserve.
Then an S.
Reserve. Looks strange, but hey. And now what we need is, and I probably won't really work in the CPP file for this one, only for the constructor and the destructor, probably. And the constructor, we also need to have another one holding in size or capacity, so that we actually can. Don't need to forget. Wait, those aren't template functions then. Oh yes, they are. Are they? It's annoying. Because then I also need to place them inside of the template vector. No, it's wrong. I've gone. So this is constructor, the default one. So here we will just create a new one with just 10 elements. So data, actually can do that in the here in the inline one. Data no t array of 10 elements, and then we also place the capacity on 10 and the size on 0. Size on 0. Okay, and template class. Wow! By the way, if you guys didn't know that, you can do that. If you type class, you will see it in a bit.
Oh, yeah. Now I see.
There are some things. Yeah. Vectors. T. Vector. And then now we have the one with int size. If you guys have questions, ask for sure. T. Capacity. No, don't do that to me, please. Thank you. Capacity is equal to capacity. Also, I've forgotten, but don't forget it, guys. It's important.
Yes.
Yep. Okay. So now we created those two, and now also the destructor. So then we create another destructor. There's this one, and the destructor will just be this, and the destructor needs to delete the array itself. Data. But because for the rest we just have two ends, so we don't need to delete them. Let's just clean up. And then let's create the pushback. So that's the template. Class T. Vector T. By the way, if you guys didn't know, but I'm going to show you in a bit something. Something fun. Just forgotten this. You can actually, if you are doing this stuff, so now I have made a generic pushback function. What you also can do is, for example, say, okay, my class is now an int. And then you, as you can see, this also works. This is just a specialized function for if you use ints instead of another type that would be there. Thank you, Mr. Dove, for subscribing. So let's look for a second at chat. Nothing. So the pushback, what would it do? It would first check if m underscore, if the capacity cap underscore capac. It's not recognizing it for some reason. Is less, is actually equal to m underscore size. I think I did something wrong because otherwise, normally I have IntelliSense in here. So I probably did something wrong. So what I will do first is see if we make here, we include it, the vector.h, and if we make vector vector, actually just this vector of type int, and we will give it a capacity of 5. Oh, yeah. Pushback, for example, 5. Just so we can debug this. This probably won't do much and will end instantly. Why is it dependent name of the type? Let me check something. Oh, yeah, I've forgotten that. Don't forget this, please. It's a little bit strange if you're not working with void or something else, or a class type that you know, and that you're working with T instead. It's sometimes strange, and that's also why I didn't have IntelliSense here. So most of the time when you don't have IntelliSense anymore in classes, there's something wrong with your declaration of your function, because Visual Studio does not recognize what you're doing. So if these two are equal, then you know that you need to double your capacity, so that you need to copy and allocate a new data. How we do that? That's something. First make a new, so an int array, or t array, I mean, t array. This will be strange code. Templates can be so strange sometimes. Data, data new, and yes, we can just copy the pointer to that. So data new equals new int array with size of m underscore capacity times 2. Come on. License times equals 2. And then we also need to copy over, so for int I equals 0, and I is less than size, I is plus, dot new, new, I will be equal to m underscore date data I. Okay, so now we copy everything over. And now m_data would be equal to data new. So here now we created a new array, copied all the previous values and put them back into the normal state. Also, what now still needs to happen is we still need to add the element itself. So then underscore data at m_size, that would be equal to the element. And then m_size be just plus. So this now increases and also increases the size of our vector. I'm also gonna make just a get element. So a t get. What are your preferences on camel casing? Is it lowercase camel casing or a higher uppercase camel casing?
What?
Camel casing is, for example, pushback. I now have uppercase camel casing for pushback, while, for example, get size is lowercase camel case. Uppercase camel case? Okay. So I'm gonna make the get. Apparently, there we go. It doesn't, yeah, there we go. It's underlining it now. Template, but you see that I'm not going back to my CPP at all, because all these things are template clauses. Because the clause itself is a template. You can also make just some functions in your class template. That's something else. Then you only need to put those functions inside of your header file, and all the rest of the functions you do in your normal CPP file. Vector the get, and get should be an int element index. ID. Okay, here we go. Element ID, and now for the getting, it's just return. We first would check an out of bounds check. No, we'll let the user handle that. So we just return a m_data element ID. So that's for getting and pushing. So what we now can do actually is in the main. So we see that we have pushback 5. We can, for example, also pushback 6 and 7. And now we can say if I include is d io, then I have come on, isn't it that I host Get line is actually not available in that one. Okay. Such a long time ago. an S stream, an IO stream, and also string needs to also be included. And now get line and get chart. That also works. Okay. So it stops for a second, so that we can read the actual debugging per program. Is the out. Out. Let's output vac.get, for example, the second element, and see what we get in there. Apparently we have small mistake. That's if that would conundrum. Why is it not recognizing this? Come on. It's allocating a new space on stack. No, on heap because of new keyword. So this should be able to be recognized, but it is not. Change this into a new pointer. There we go. Now it likes me. Oh yeah. What? Cannot find my main function. What?
Uppercase
Is it lowercase now?
It's lowercase.
Yes.
I know where to change it, but
It's a theory question on our exam. What's the thing wrong? It should be lowercase.
and see what it outputs. 7. Maybe you guys cannot really see it. It's it's
Yeah, we
very
can.
very very little. So let's make that a little bit bigger. Yeah. Let's make it like 100. So now you guys can definitely see it. It's just a fun thing. You can actually change properties of your console. Also, for example, colors, you can change them. So this is now working. So what else do we need to implement? It's vector class, size, capacity, and the reserve. The reserve we already partially have written, so I will convert that one because this is the reserve. This is just the code that's normally in the reserve, so I will also call the reserve function in here. So we use less functions that way. So here, these are actually just normal templates plus the factor. Sorry guys, that will take a little bit longer than an hour. But if I'm doing it this way, yeah, can't really do anything about it. Turn m_. Thank you. Thank you. You stole my sausage. That's actually.
What?
Yeah, you stole my sausage. That is Timo. That's the email.
I subscribe. Oh, the one is subscribed.
Mhm.
I subscribed as well, but it didn't show
Yeah,
for some reason.
I also don't know why. Uh, so hello, Timo. Maybe you can say something in chat. I will look in a sec. Something to add? Ah, yeah, I don't have a second screen here. I'm in school, so we have to do with what we have. Size. Also, for normal variables or for m underscores, you use lowercase camel case, right? No,
For
also
what?
uppercase,
It's lowercase m underscore higher case.
higher case, uppercase. But you mean? That's a
Oh,
lot.
for
Yeah.
number
Different
values.
standards.
Yes, yes. I normally use lowercase there because I used to program in Java, and that's where that came from.
Only if it's like a pointer, then there's a m
Underscore
underscore
p.
small p. Then
So
yeah,
this should be this. Let's change that all up. That's gonna be annoying.
so it's m underscore p data.
Yep. Size. Let's copy size over all the time. Guys, do not copy and paste stuff you get from the interwebs. Please don't. Look at what you're doing. Otherwise, you can make big mistakes. And you can screw yourself over a lot. So now those two, and now only the reserve needs to be made. I'm lazy. So I'll do this, and then we... Actually, I could just... no, not rename. Hey, wait. Can't you? Apparently you can't. Okay. I shouldn't just make reserve. And then reserve. Reserve also needs to take in a parameter, and that's how much you want to reserve. And it will be the capacity of the new elements that you want to have. Let's see, T capacity, and this capacity is the new capacity there, and for the rest nothing changes, and then we just need to call this in here with the capacity, because that is what we did there. We just reserved a new space double as big as our previous one, so that the rest. Okay, so that is everything. Is there anything you want to make me add?
The rule of 5.
You want me to go to that horrible pain of adding the rule of 5?
The rule of 5. Because that's the thing I'm struggling with at the moment with templates. The rule of 5.
Yeah, the
Um,
rule of 5 on
The
templates,
rule of 5
yes.
is such cancer.
so the copy and
Copy assignment.
I'll check which one you did.
Move.
move. Yeah.
I think we only did 2.
Yeah, I think it's only the move and the copy that you need, because all the other one are assignment operators.
Do the ones that you think are necessary.
These are the ones, yeah.
So you have the assignments, the copy, uh, const copy, and okay.
I give you some reference on the distinct, on the rule of 3, and the rule of 5.
Where on the Discord? Oh, yeah, there.
Just private.
Yep, I want to go there. Just, that's a rule of 3. A rule of 0. What?
The rule of 0?
Yes. Yep. Rule of 0 is just that you have a constructor. Base rule of 5 defaults. Oh, default keyword. Okay. It would be exactly the same as I was doing now. But then, and this is for a CTR string. But these are not the headers. This is, oh yeah, this is the header file, but it's an inline implementation of the header, of the CVP file inside of the header. Never do that, guys, never. Your teachers will hate you for that.
Why?
Because it's something you shouldn't do for sure. If you make libraries, then you should make it apart, because you don't want people to read what you're doing in your library. It should just work, and nobody should care about what you do in it. So I just copy it, and why do I even have this open? Actually, I now want to see something. If they did do it in their platform. Probably not. I can't. These are, by the way, this is the graphics programming thing that we have. Elite. So, for example, they also use templates. This is pretty easy stuff, by the way. So, for example, in inverse square first, but then with like ridiculous math, so you have a fast inverse square root.
Yes. Just yes.
this is second year stuff.
Right. The first year for a moment.
So, by the way, this is an implementation that is based on Quake 3. Don't break the glasses.
Please remember which copy switch, because I'm sick.
I already was sick, so I probably gave it to you, so I can't get sick.
Right, so rule of 5.
Yes, rule of 5. I hate you for this, but hey.
You wanted to.
Yeah. So rule of 5.
No, which one is yours?
Okay.
Yes, it's yours.
So we need a vector of the const, vector, reference, other. So this is a copy constructor. And then we also need it with the move assignment, I think, or the move constructor. I think that's this one. And then we need to move assignments. So that's a vector, reference operator equals const there we go. Vector reference other, and then also the vector, but this will also be the vector of type T. This is where it gets strange, I think, for you guys. The reference up. Why the heck are you doing? The heck are you doing? Factor T. The reference other. T. Okay, now let's implement them. 5, that's the copy constructor. So first copy, that's oh yeah, I'm just gonna copy this because I'm sick of copying that all the time. And then we have vector. It's not in capacity. Copy constructors. That one has age so consts. Vector t. Actually, also it does not return anything. Author. And this is just copying the values over from one to the new one. So m underscore data m underscore p. I'm seeing that I did something wrong instantly because I don't have any. This is return. Copy constructor does not return anything, does it? No, it's just copying it into. Yeah, so I hate you for this. Not you. I hate C++ for this. It's just because I did not write them on top the correct way. Actually need to be written like this. And that's why Visual Studio didn't like me. So now I should be able to. Yes, there we go. Now we have our variables. So data should be the vector. And this is something the other and this is something fun, but you actually can access the local variables even if they are sending private, because you're in the same class. You can actually do that. And because it's a copy, we actually need to make a copy of our vector, and not just plain old copy the I or the value, but we actually need to make a physical copy of the data itself. And we cannot do this what I'm showing now. We actually need to say, okay, we need to make a new t vector. That's the other. I will do this for the other dot m underscore capacity, and then for each or for over it all. Size, we need to copy over the data. I author dot p data I. We need to copy everything over because that's what the copy constructor does. It copies the value over. And we have Satan coming. And then we're also. Yes, it is
No.
free to take.
It isn't.
Underscore capacity equals other. And by the way, follow the stream.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm streaming.
That's easier than all sitting around.
Yeah, it's easier, and also people at home, and you can watch back the stream and all that fun stuff. Yeah, it's no problem. I will put it in the description of the video. I will put a zip in there. Size equals other. Underscore size. So this is the copy constructor, and that's the next one. By the way, these are almost all the same thing. The only difference is just like here. Here you copy it, here you just move it over. Which is actually done here. This is again the copy assignment and the move assignment. By the way, guys, you'll never have to program this kind of stuff if you don't know, if you are not making your own library.
Good.
Yeah, but the chances of you guys needing to do it is small, except if you really want to go complicated.
Well, this will be on the example.
But as you see, it's not very different from normal. It's just that instead of the type, you have a vector with a type.
Was just really confusing.
Yeah, that's the most
But
confusing
that's
part about
weird
it.
because the lab last week, we two were still half drunk.
Yeah, we're still drunk. And I just fell asleep.
Yeah, yesterday I wasn't there, so I missed a shit ton.
So guys, if you didn't hear it, they were drunk last session, last programming session. So theory. So that's why they can't do this yet. This is so stupid.
Yeah.
You know that the teachers also can watch this stuff, right?
There's 5 people watching.
We don't know who I am.
Is there?
1, 2, Timo, probably him as
Yeah,
well.
watching 5 people.
You're one of those 5 as well, or not?
Yeah, I'm one of those 5, yes.
Then one random dude that I don't know.
Meal. No, your meal.
Yes.
Your meal, okay. I'm just also watching
Mr.
chat for a
Dur.
second.
Oh no, wait, he's Mr. Dur.
Yes. This music.
Music.
Oh, please continue on with us, Stevie.
Yeah, I know.
Please knock on the door.
String order. Okay.
4 people watching that.
Yeah, because me. M data is underscore other. Come on. Can you please get me my other? No, we can't. Okay. It's not allowing me to access this variable. Why is it? I've written something wrong. I don't have IntelliSense. Great.
What?
There it is, the IntelliSense. Okay. Yeah, if you guys, and also Satan for you, if you do not have IntelliSense in Visual Studio, and it's still not there after a restart, just look at your header file and look if the thing you typed, the function, is the same as you did in your actual code implementation, because then you know that. Yeah, yeah. And Visual Studio helps you with that by not doing anything. I mean, it's optimized.
Yeah, puts your face on.
And I mean, what we're doing is just totally not needed at all, because as you guys maybe also know, you can just do this and you have an STD. Two.
I know. But the thing is, we need to program it.
Yes. And then you can just say vector and there everything is implemented. Vector int.
Can we see the source of this vector?
Nope.
Nice.
From oh yeah, std. Come on. No. Oh yeah, vector is with a small letter apparently. And then vec2, just to show you guys what is all implemented in assign, add, bag, gain capacity, see begin, see end, cleared. It's a whole bunch of functions that are already implemented in that one. And there are even extra things if you include algorithms. If you include algorithms, you can do, for example, std find
Getting lectured.
and and then you can, for example, say I want to find 2 in there, and it will return the position it is finding it at. So this is a for loop.
Find one. It's just showing us all the shit that doesn't
Hmm? Yeah, just sit there. Um,
we can have a look.
I'm streaming this, by the way, so you know. um, so copy constructor, and now we will do the 2 assignments operators that we have for the constructor. These 2. Just copy and paste them down here. And now I need to think how it actually did that. Okay, this part here needs to go in between here because the rest is a return type. Nope, apparently not. This is such an annoying thing when they do this. What? YouTube. Yep. So this works. Does it? No, it does not. That's like you can with with the IntelliSense of Visual Studio, you can know if your functions is actually typed right or wrong. If you don't have IntelliSense like I have now, I can't access my local variables with the IntelliSense, so I know that something is wrong. I'm now looking. Um, yeah. It is actually very, very, very handy. or I mean, we already have a lot of functions and functionality. For example, the quick actions and refactorings, we can make custom functions. So if you have like a lot of code in one function, you can just say, okay, select this, custom refactor it, and you suddenly have a new function. And yes, that is already inside, that's already good defined and in the header and everything else. It works pretty well, but it's still a beta thing, I thought. So now these assignments, yeah, copy assignment, you actually need to overwrite your stuff with it and then return the this pointer, okay, which is actually t vector, or yeah, let's just do t pointer temp. So we create a new temporary variable, which is a new t vector of the other dot the other capacity. And then we string copy it, so we use this. And by the way, copy pasting, guys, don't do it. I just make it because it's faster. Because I know what I can copy and what I can't. Yeah. Yeah, for example, with that for loop, that is just something that is default.
I don't want to make any type of just copy everything.
Then we need to delete. Yeah, that is not the good way to go, mate. That's definitely not the good way to go. No, definitely not. That's just terabytes of data. Maybe if you compress it enough.
That's like a challenge. Just copy paste it with an external hard drive, and they're like, don't worry, fam, don't worry. Just some shit.
And then we use. Then we copy over that. So this is the copy assignment. And now we go over to the move assignment. If other is not equals to this. Yeah, that just this part here is there always, and that also T is your class that you're working with. But you can make custom implementations. So for example, if you have a custom class that would do a little bit differently with your stuff. For example, if you have a vector, if you have a custom class that is better used to working with lists, then you can implement the lists side of things instead of the vector kind of things, just for that one class. Nope, don't. I'm gonna maybe also do it here.
I'm leaving after this
Return.
What were you all doing in the weekend?
Yeah, I'm asking myself that.
I also have sports to do.
Oh yeah, by the way, here it is. I think it actually is this one. I just need to check it. Delete the C string, yep. That's what I thought. So we need to delete it. Then m underscore data should be equal to other dot. And then, oh, before I forget,
What happened?
Yeah, roasted so hard. Rotation. No, he didn't roast me, he just corrected like literally everything I did. Rotated, sure, but not well enough in his eyes.
I didn't even get feedback.
Well, it took me like the whole like 3 days to understand that we didn't need to make it work when we are looking stuff. I know. And without it, yeah. I was like trying to make the diamonds with the matrices. Right? And I was like, wait, we don't need it. And I read
Just
the
use
assignment,
GeoRoot,
sent
yes.
the assignment to see.
okay, so I implemented your rule of 5.
I'm good. Much appreciated. Because that's something that fucked me up.
It's not that
I
hard.
see a lot of like different things.
But like the rule of 5, it's just handy that CPP reference has good references for you guys to work with. It's just this page is going to be your life later sometimes. For sure, if you're working with libraries.
I'm gonna download that thing for the exam. Just down.
But actually,
Yeah, but the thing is, rule of 5 is such a cancer.
Also, something fun! Something fun!
When you done zero, you don't need to
Hmm?
you don't need to use the you just set this to delete.
Yep. And then everything is fine.
oh, that's a thing.
But there are cases in which you actually need to use it.
Yep, there are cases if you want to, for example, make your life easier
By assigning everyone stuff.
by using the stuff that actually they have implemented in C++. It can make your life a lot easier. And with custom classes that actually store stuff, it's actually a handy thing to do.
Before leaving, I hope you do the list so I can watch it.
Yeah, and also implement like a rule of 5 in there.
In the list?
Yes.
Sure, if you want to. Yeah,
because it's actually kind of different with a linked list if you're using the rule of 5. Because of memory copying, you don't really want to do that, and some other stuff that's is getting there. Because you actually with linked list you have 2 classes. It's not one class. You have your main list class, which is storing the beginning of your, and which just has the functions. You also have your node class, and the node class actually stores your the pointers and it's the chaining.
Doing a list that has like elements in random positions.
Because
Isn't
of
that not efficient because of mechanical patterns?
there are some other stuff because code complexity. That's also a thing.
Alright, see you guys. Good luck with the stream.
Yep. So code complexity is a thing. Code complexity for removing an item out of a linked list is ON. Is O, I mean. Where, for example, removing items from a vector is, I thought it was O to the elements that are coming after because you need to move them back all. And that's a problem. If you just want to remove one element or a combination of elements out of a vector, then you need to I think Yes, but it will be really ridiculous when you have deleted a couple of strings out of it that you need to know, like, oh yeah, I need to skip here, and you are removing your own locality.
Thank you.
And also, for example, inserting a bit, like inserting a couple of elements inside of a vector, that's hard to do.
Yeah, because you
But
need to push it.
yeah, you need to push it and put it in. But with a linked list, it's just changing two pointers and it's okay. And it's
And
it's
that's
that
why you,
efficiency that you sometimes need.
but then to access it all at once
It
for the cache wouldn't be
it
efficient.
wouldn't be efficient. But if you need to insert and remove a lot of elements at a time, it's actually more efficient. Yes. That's why lists and linked lists exist. So linked lists. Let's make a node class. The node class will be very simple. So a node. So what a node will be, it will have the do we want also a backwards compatible list? So that you can traverse it forwards and also backwards.
And I think it's standard.
Uh,
I mean,
yeah. So node pointer. Just ask for a group, a power bar.
You can see her as well, I think. Oh, she's just behind
Yeah, we're already an hour in. So the node also will be a template class.
I was not here yesterday.
No. I will make a forward and backwards compatible, so that you can traverse it backwards and also forwards. Yes.
Is
Um,
that something he's used to, I think?
yeah, type name is not very different from class. Yeah, it's. I just use class. But I think there is still a reason, like type name. It's just they have two keywords because if you look now on the stream, you will see this line here for templates. You can see how you can have these two templates type names, and then you have the keyword class here. The compiler would know if you put class and class here, what it would need to do. It wouldn't know it. You only can use once class. Type name you can use multiple times in your listing. And this is just a template class of a templated dual parameter class that's called container, and it
Wow.
has also dual thing, and it has also a type. So it can get ridiculous with templates sometimes. So this is why they normally are interchangeable, but this is an equivalent where they are not. So yeah. And by the way, if you don't know something, just look it up. It's a Google away. I mean, if you guys ask me something, you always saw me just type it in Google really quickly, and I instantly have an answer. It's something you guys still need to learn, actually, how to Google properly. Normally in next semester, so the programming tree will be all about that.
What?
Yes, yes.
Really?
Yes.
Then there should be a class Googling.
No, it's
For
not.
programmers.
It's programming tree is about Googling because they won't give you your PDFs anymore. They will just say research. Go and research it.
I think they're gonna change that.
Uh-oh.
Like they're gonna change a lot of stuff to our degree.
Yeah.
Like they're gonna probably
Yep.
release sponsorship stuff.
But they are still gonna, what I just said, they are still gonna do because you need to be able to Google and to research.
That's like the job of an ITer.
That is the job of an ITer.
Research is also
Especially you don't
T.
wanna work as a programmer.
Does that machine take 1 and 2 cents?
Nope.
Oh.
Your bakery takes 1 and 2 cents. Get next node pointer. Also, something linked lists are used in is, for example, trees. Trees. You can, instead of have the node pointers for next and previous, you can have, for example, a node array. And then you can have quad trees or oct trees, which is like one node with 4 nodes and
So like ramification.
Hmm?
Ramifications of data. Like
Like-
organizing data with trees, with branches. Okay, that's pretty cool.
So also in that case, that is used because you can optimize by the way in linked lists you can optimize this also to work in a vector. You can do that.
What do you mean? Like you can make the vector behave like the list?
Yep.
Okay. Then you have the list already.
Because the list is not in a compact space of memory.
What I said.
Yeah, but
Localized vector.
yeah, but you can also do that with linked lists if you really think about it. Because you could calculate where your next item is if you organize it nicely. So get next and get previous. We also need to get just the item itself. Able to do that. So now also yes.
Does YouTube give plots of streams?
How do you mean?
There's a does it record the stream automatically?
It should be enabled. I can check it again. But it should be enabled. Stream options, 4 hours, low latency. Yeah, it should be enabled. It's not really a problem. So get next. Also, I will in the node implement the nope. All of this stuff. Copy. This is just the annoying bit. And also we need setters for these. Next, and then we need a node pointers, nodes pointers. When do you guys have class? Tomorrow?
We don't have class anymore today.
I shouldn't either, I think. I don't think I have.
Tomorrow is the worst day. Didn't you have tomorrow off and today a lot of class?
Today only in the morning I have class. It's pretty for games too. Okay, so set previous, set next. Okay, so now we have all the interfaces and types done. I also will make a other constructor, which I actually will remove this one because I want to be able to set it up just inside here. Oh yeah, also this is the annoying part. Every time we use nodes, we need to specify its type. Every time. That's the difference between a normal class and a templated class. Every time you need to specify which template you are using.
Yeah.
That's the biggest difference. That's the set and the get itself. There's an enter between this. I also will place this private because nobody needs to access them because they have these functions to do it with. And also a set with the T element. Get set. Okay. I wanted to make another node constructor. Node constructor with no node vector. Come on, vector. Node vector T. That's gonna be in pointer.
Block.
No. Previous nodes.
Is there a way to check if your template is copyable? Because I wasn't able to do that on the assignment.
Is what?
Copyable. Like
Copyable.
if your data type is a data type you can copy.
The only data types you cannot copy are custom classes, classes that come from SCD, and vectors, and arrays. All the rest you can copy.
Yes, please. Thanks.
Just keep that in mind. So default variables you always can copy. That's no problem. But it's only when you have arrays of cursor classes, that you get into programs and then you need to copy each value from that class.
Oh, so that's why for the vectors you have to do all that stuff. Okay,
You just need to keep that in mind when you're making a class. Next, and also the value. That will be for creating a node. Can I actually say implement it? Yeah, we do not need these because it's a templated class. So our nodes.cpp will be empty because it's a templated class. It's not a template. These are not templated functions. It's a templated class.
So
everything inside of that will be. You get these ridiculously long H files. 139 lines in an H file. It's just ridiculous. And by the way, just yeah, but I mean, just to show you, our teachers also use it. This is from next semester, or yeah, from next semester, or from next year, second semester. Their GPP framework. Also, for example, this you will. Yeah, there's a little bit of delay. They implemented the fast inverse square root that's based on Quake 3 Arena. It's just ridiculous math. This is a special thing about it. And they also have the article here.
How much faster is that?
Hmm?
How much faster is that?
It's a heck of a lot. Yeah, no, it's just working with bits and bytes and like that, be able to do it. And with casting, how you can encast and then back to float, how you can do that. Math always works out. So now this is Constructor, so let's work in here. Yeah, it takes some time. Oh, and I've forgotten something, and let me do it now, because otherwise I will forget it, and then I will need to change a lot more M underscores before everything, because you guys need to learn that the right way and not the wrong way. Also, yes, I'm most of the time doing it the wrong way, and I know that for myself. I'm not good at keeping standards. These are also pointers. Yeah. Well, it's not that much. It's not that much. Just the notational P and the M underscore. Previous. Be previous. And the element should be the value. Okay. It should see that it has this. Yes, okay. And then we need our destructor, which is deleting. How would we delete this? Because that's another question I need to ask myself. Because we can delete the previous node, but we can delete the next one. And you will have these delete tree that will clean itself up. No, only I just don't want to get in a situation where you would have a how is that called, a Stack Overflow. Because if you are growing, I would need to delete nothing actually in here, because it's only a variable that I keep, and that variable needs to be deleted by the user themselves, because I don't know if that's a pointer, yes or no. User needs to do that themselves.
So your
My destructor will not have anything important. Let me say it like that. It will just be empty, because the linked list.c class will actually handling the deleting of the pointers themselves. Because it will, when it is deleting, it's his destructor is called, it will actually for loop over every item and then delete them accordingly. Because it's not easy for sure if you have a previous and the next one. Which one can you delete at that moment of time without having a Stack Overflow? You will see what I mean a little bit later when we implement the linked list.h and CPP, because there will be some functions that actually don't need the type. Okay, yeah, yes, get size and stuff. I hate these. Like everybody does.
template.
No, not templates. No, not linked lists.
Can't see what he's talking about yet.
I do love Visual Studio though.
What are you talking about? What do you
The rule of 5.
Yeah. What?
That was mine.
That was ingenious.
I think it's control point comma, but I think it's an else, a different sign on your guys's. Hmm? Yeah, yeah, just control and comma. I still need to place my cursor on here. Hmm?
What's that? Inline
Yeah, it's just it places it in line, and it's not a good thing. I remove the inline always.
When you do it automatically,
Place it in line, and inline is the keyword.
code-wise, it is nothing.
Yes, yes, it definitely does something.
What does it do?
An inline function or inline variable has the following properties. There may be more than one defined of an inline function or variable, since C++ 17, in a program, as long as each definition appears in a different translation unit, and for non-static inline functions and variables, since blah blah blah, all definitions are identical. Blah, 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 so that you can include different source files and have it the same. Yeah, it's kind of a global, yes. Yeah, inline, do not use it. No. So, and just to say what it really is, the inline specifier, when used in functions del spec specifier spec, declares the function to be an inline function, a function defined entirely inside of a class struct union definition, whether it's a member function or a non-member field friend function, is implicitly an inline function. So inline functions are things that are standing not on their place, is not on their normal CPP file or header, that are defined somewhere else, but still are needed for, yes. Because it does not know that you, it wants to be complete about itself. Yes, I have seen inline and CP3 files. Yes. With templates? No. Yes, has to be in the header file because otherwise the code generator wouldn't know which type. If it's it needs to generate all the possible types that you are using, and it needs to be already done when it's reading in the header. And that's why you put it all in here. And I actually love that even he knows that it's there. Yay! Remove the inline, please.
Oh,
I think I'm 1.5 hours busy now. 2 hours? What? Already? No, 1.5. 1.5. Yeah. This is because it's rounding up. It's like 1 minute over. So it's rounding up. Cannot show half an hour. So you will see it on my stream how much I'm busy already. I can see that exactly.
Oh yeah.
And it's thought, wow, Visual Studio, no, do not do that. Look what it did. In a couple of seconds. It's just, what the heck, why did it do that? It should be something else. Oh,
I think Visual Studio got confused.
yeah, I think Visual Studio got confused there. It really got confused. Because underscore.
You do something confusing.
Maybe I did. There's something confusing because that shouldn't be. Set node, get node. No? Oh. Oh.
Oh, that's why. I was running TDS Max and Power Saver, that's why I was
Okay, and now we need to implement all of these functions. These two already done. The copy constructor. And yeah, this is the copy constructor. Okay, copy constructor. Let's go back to the one page because I am not good with remembering the rule of 5 at all. By the way, the rule of 0 also exists. No, I'm serious.
Yeah, I know.
Rule of 0 is when you don't have classes that have custom destructors should deal exclusively with their ownership. Then the defaults are applied. With the rule of 0, all the defaults are applied.
So basically, if you're not using the rule of 0, the rule of 5, right?
Yes.
Ah,
Then
That's
it.
called the rule of 0.
Yes.
so if you only have a constructor,
Yes.
you don't even have a constructor.
Yes. You do not have a destructor, copy, assignment, and all of those stuff. You don't have it. It uses the defaults like that. And the rule of 3 only says that you need to also do the copy constructor and not the move.
Copy constructor and copy assignment.
Yes. And the constructor.
Rule of 5 is
Also with the move. So note that one should be. Oh yeah, actually these would be easy. Should be easy because there's not really much to copy about. Yeah, because you're just working with pointer match. You just need to see which one I need to delete the. You're just always overriding it. Okay. So other m underscore element equals other m underscore element m underscore next is equal to other m underscore p next, and m underscore previous should be equal to other m underscore previous. I am now going to copy this. That's the thing. If you don't have anything like real of pointers that you need to worry about, you can do. This is just the this. We just need to make sure here that the other the p next is equal to a null pointer, because we do not want that the compiler suddenly decides to delete everything that we have. Also, we only want one entity to look at. I'm actually thinking now with the copy constructor, copy assignment, we delete our own thing, but that we do not need to do. So we just do this. Yeah, this is actually a very easy node to make. And going through it's really fast actually. So you guys probably should not have any problems with this kind of stuff. Otherwise you just do not know the rule of 5. Because it's already all implemented. For the rule of 5, yes, it was. And now this one. So here we will use. Actually, this also will be template class T. Hmm?
Having a bit of buffering.
What?
Having a bit of buffering.
Is it? My bit rate is fine. My bit rate is at 280, 2800. So or 2800. Yes. Whee. Um, Always fun to mess with people.
I love the OBS. Are you using OBS or?
Yeah,
Are using OBS?
sure I'm using OBS.
Even professionals.
Yeah,
There's like one or two other things you can use
yeah.
instead of OBS.
Yeah, but biggest mirrors use OBS.
Yeah, because they have so many extra things. Like at home, I have normally two screens, but what I actually really want to use is have a different PC, which is actually plugged in with a monitor card here, so that you stream your monitor output instantly to a new graphics card. Yes, so you instantly capture the data that's coming out of your graphics card on another PC. Yeah.
Back when I had a laptop, I was there like that. On my desktop, it's such a piece of junk that
My mouse is broken for a little bit there.
for like the next generation GPUs, the Volvos or something, then I'm probably gonna buy a GPU.
Yeah, now they are out of market, GPUs.
No, next generation is gonna be 40% faster.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, next time I'm gonna probably buy a RAM or something like that. It will also be memory. Memory.
What do you mean?
Your RAM will also be memory.
Ah,
For real.
they should do the other way around.
No,
Which is crazy expensive.
no. Because then if you start up your PC, everything that was on that RAM, that is also your memory, is now already loaded in the machine.
Yeah, yeah. Like that's cool. It's I guess 10 times faster than SSD.
Yes, it's that fast. You will, your power button will. Yes, instant load times.
Video on Octane, and the person was rendering Octane, and he was like, guys, life will be different.
I mean, I mean, if that's the case, I mean, what, you just press your power button and your Windows is instantly loaded.
But, right, that's the problem with PCs are actually too fast. You can't go into the load menu because you have to have lightning fast reflexes to pick that up, which is a problem.
Yeah, so that's why they are gonna make it so that you have just this 1 second BIOS time and 1 second.
Artificial loading time, GG.
Yes, but in an artificial loading time, what am I speaking?
Live stream offline.
Is it? No, it's not.
And now it's loading again. Okay.
Yeah, YouTube has hiccups. Blame on YouTube, not on me. My stream is running fine. My PC is running fine. My GPU is actually calm now. It's not that loud. Well, although my water is even getting heated.
Yeah, because you place it here.
Yeah, it isn't. It is not hot.
What? Water's not hot.
Yes.
Not hot.
Normally, if somebody places my cup of coffee next to my PC, the coffee stays warm. At the moment, no.
I wish I could do that. But then I'll need to lift my PC up. There was the
Okay.
It's just
So.
cold. It's just ice cold.
Yeah.
You have something loose here.
Yes, I know. Also, my screen is cracked. There's a crack here and there's a crack here. I already have this PC for way too long.
Yeah, but I hate this. I want to like. I
No,
like rip it apart.
no, don't,
I know.
definitely don't.
Probably cause a problem.
Would it? Yes, it would. No.
I hate things like that. Or with glue it back.
The thing is, yeah, it's already like you need to melt it back down so it fits back in.
You need to melt your laptop.
To be able to fix it.
Can
Yes.
it not melt itself?
That face.
Include node. Okay. Actually, know what? I'm really thinking about this now, and I don't think I need the linked list clause.
You don't need it, but we do.
But it will be, and because you can get the first, but you also will be able to insert an item into, just to have an insert. Something like I want to insert this here.
Or the node manager.
It's kind of like a node manager, yes.
What the fuck is this?
I don't know what the music is all about.
You randomly put on music again.
Yeah. Insert. I will let you insert an element. Also remove and then it's index. Also, we will add a size to it. Scraper like a skyscraper.
What a shit song.
Oh, you okay?
Yeah?
You got a message.
No, he's gonna me calling it a shit song.
Oh.
I did my best.
God sings it better than whoever is singing that song.
Also, I will show you guys something. Something fun. Oh yeah, no, code, work. Where's no working? Why? Okay. So apparently Visual Studio did not like that I commented this line of code.
What line? The GMUI dot
Yes. Yes. Rebuild. This will take a time. Size. Okay. Oh yeah. You guys would want me to do it right. Rule 5?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, please. Oh. Damn, that seems like the wrong one.
Hmm?
Seems like the wrong one. I see you just sitting here like this in the infinite loop.
How far behind are you? At the start of the stream? Because I was doing that at the start.
I think it just went back to the start.
Yeah,
Like,
because
what the
I have a backlog of 4 hours. You can watch back 4 hours. So probably when you.
Didn't do that. Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, you
I
need to
did.
click here. You need to click here to be able to see it live. That was the start of the stream.
I was like, yo, what the fuck? I'm just seeing you sitting like this for like 10 or like 2 minutes already.
So get first, get last, insert, remove, and win index. Get size. We won't have a capacity because there's not really capacity with this.
Capacity is infinite.
Yeah, but a vector too, but it's just the amount of memory that you have. Or, yeah, the amount of memory that you have. Amount of RAM you have. There's a difference. Because if the RAM overflows, it actually goes to physical memory.
And that is...
Which is ridiculously slow.
You don't
Imagine
want that.
going from driving on a highway into suddenly landing in a mud road.
Yes. Yes.
Who was sitting next to Drake? That's...
So let's now say that
Say something.
what did you just think happened? Yeah, there we go. That's better. I just want to. By the way, this is one of the most awesome things ever. What I'm doing now. I'm so happy that it exists.
Copy paste.
I'm not copy pasting.
Lightbulb copy paste.
Hmm?
Lightbulb cut paste.
Yes.
Now I can template.
Yeah, if you guys don't understand templates after this, sorry, but something is wrong. Although I didn't.
But it's already...
I mean, templates itself, like, I do get it.
How it's there, like how you define classes and how you make functions.
Actually, for me, what got me stuck, like the test work with until string, when I got stuck, it was like when I had to do the vector, because I was in.
Yeah, but the vector, you have to type the stuff itself.
Yeah.
Ourselves. If we type something wrong there again.
Well, for the template too, you need to change the pin types.
My template clause should be correct.
Okay, so constructor. We need a. Well, no, we won't need a custom constructor because everything is. This also there should be a 0 here. There should be a node t pointer underscore first node. Also, if you really mess with this, you can make the first pointer point to the last pointer, which makes a loop.
Why would you do that?
Which means that your program will probably crash. So you really need to be careful of that. Because that can happen. That you can literally have
the last pointer point at your first pointer.
No. Yeah, if that happens, then you just have a continuous loop.
That's what it means.
Something for the devil.
Hello?
Let the last pointer point to the first pointer.
Fuck that. Infinite loop. Man. We'll do that.
Also, before I forget, naming conventions. So, null, yes, there we go. So, nothing to describe here. Something to describe here. And there's actually something special about these linked lists. You do not need the size to go through them. You actually use a while loop. Why?
The while, because they're taking an
Yes, and you just check if the next one is a null pointer. If the next one is a null pointer, then you know you're at the end. So what? So I will make a value node pointer.
Hey, Alfian is also watching that.
Hello, hello everyone. Yes, Alfie, and it's also linked lists. Current should be in first one, then while current next next no next not previous next if that one is equal to a null. If it's not equal to a null, then continue. And this is for deleting all the information, so we just want to be sure that we're deleting the previous pointer. And at the end, we will delete the last pointer. Because we will have the last pointer in current. Otherwise, we do not know what's next. Because we deleted the current one. So delete current. So now we deleted everything. That memory should be freed up. Copy constructor should be and underscores first equals other dot oh, but copy. I forgot about that. Yeah. I made a mistake with the nodes with copy constructor. Now that I think about it, I also copied over the pointers that pointing to the next and the previous one, while you just want to copy over the element that's inside, and then just leave those two empty to be able to fill them by this one. So what I did here was wrong, and now I see that. This actually should still be the null pointers that they originally are. But the elements should still be copied, or should be made equal. And you need to implement your copy constructor yourself of that one, otherwise it will be the same thing. I also need to place this equal to a null pointer, because I do not know what this type is going to be. So I can also not initialize it. Because
so weird to hear you talk and like 10 seconds.
See what I'm doing, yeah. I mean, I cannot really remove the 10 to 5 seconds delay that's on there. It's just YouTube. I mean, I could be able to do it, but then I need to have a ridiculous setup, and I don't think I can do it. That's cool. Uh, yeah. Okay. So this linked lists copy. Copy constructor. The move will be a lot easier because that's just moving your data. That's not making an actual copy of it. Or is it? God damn it! I removed something. Yeah, that's just making it equal. Move and making it equal. Equal to copy though. It's only the move assignment. That's a copy assignment. This is yeah. Yeah. So here we actually are copying the list. So we will need this code. Um, I will also need this and other. We will need the first one of them. So now we are looping through the other linked list and the other values of the linked list. Now we will copy the element and paste it inside of a new element. Which we actually can do with the copy assignment operator that we already created in the node. We can say new equals a new node. How did you do the copy assignments? How do you do copy assignment again? It's not setting it equal because that yes no that's no not how you copy but how you make C++ execute the copy assignment operator.
Wait a second. That's why you have, like, for example, variable on the right hand side.
Yes, but there are that
You assign it
variable.
to another variable of the same type, like of the same object on the left hand side.
Yeah, so it's just an equal.
Yes, but there needs to be the right hand side named. Otherwise, it won't call the copy assignment. You know what I mean?
So this would copy it, right?
C1, let's say C2 compares C1 and C2.
Yes.
C1 equals C2 and curly brackets divide C2. That's when it's cool.
That when it copies value, yeah, okay. So node equals current would be able to copy the current to the new node. Yeah.
As far as I remember.
Then this should be implemented as it is, and being able to copy it. And it's good that I remembered that copying actually does that.
Why? Yeah, I had to learn the operator, the template, the assignment operator, and otherwise it was I don't think, I think some of that stuff happened. It's probably because I made constructor complicated or something, or maybe later.
Yeah. Node, our new node. So, current, next, and now we actually need to check something because the current node we copy it. Duh. We also need the previous node. Otherwise, we won't be able to link it up. Because a null pointer in the beginning. It's just you have a problem with the first node when you're doing this, because you also want the first node to be able to be coupled at the first index. That's a problem. All the rest are fine, but actually, I already make a copy here. So this current is already a copy. I've forgotten this bit, otherwise we won't keep through it. This is just pointers, so this is moving the pointer over. Current pointer will also be put in the previous one. This actually needs to be local. This is going to the next one. Okay. Now we need to copy it. So oh, I know how to do it. Pointer, new node, close new node. Because we need to insert it all the time at the back. So we can actually use insert. The elements. And then we go to the next. Then we say also we get the counter. No, the counter actually we can just pick from. It's just such a long time ago that I actually. It's actually other size. There we go. Okay, implemented it. At least the copy constructor. There's a lot more things you need to remember when you're doing this. An insert will normally handle that. Then the move constructor. The move constructor actually needs to do the int underscore first equals equals other dot first m underscore last equals other m underscore last m underscore size is equal to other m underscore size, and then other. I think we need to set them to no pointers. Yeah, we need to set them to no pointers. So m underscore first place equal no pointer, and the other underscore no pointer. At the moment, I'm streaming for 5 people. Yeah, technically. Two. Jihad, look at the screen.
Yes.
I'm streaming for 5 people. And if you're looking at her stream, 6. Copy. Hi. Ja, natuurlijk. Ik ken jouw naam. That's YouTube. It's just 5 seconds behind. That's YouTube. I can't do anything about it. I have a bitrate of almost 3000, so it's okay. It's definitely okay. Now we do the copy assignment. Constructor. Copy assignment. Copy assignment. Copy assignment should be. What? No, it is copy assignment. Which should be just a copy, but then also, okay, that should be just this. What is, yeah, and then returning this. There is a to-do here. There is a to-do here, so I will notice it. Did you? Did you? Oh yes, but I'm gonna. Yes. Yes.
Why are you hiding?
But everybody could have seen it because it was actually on my stream for a couple of seconds. That's just the ridiculous thing about it, not having 2 screens. You are not able to moderate your freaking chat. You are not able to do that. Or for Affinity, if you just pause it on the next seconds. Or for Affinity, if you just pause it on 10 seconds and then copy your screen and send it to other people. I saw people do that. No. Assignment. Get first is just m underscore first. Get last is insert. Insert is a little bit harder because insert you actually need to. So if the first is not equal to null, it's equal to a null pointer. Then we need to create a node T. Sorry for the loudness, guys. Can't do really anything about it, but it's break time. Our node, the new node is equal to a node T pointer to a new one. So the new node dot set previous is actually still equal. It's just set element equals nodes and then we just return.
I could have turned my screen a bit as well.
So what is after this? So now what we're doing is we're just checking the first P if it's a null pointer, yes or no. Else, if it's a null pointer, then we're creating a new node. We're setting the element. We say that the new node is also the first one. We also say at the end then that the last node is also the one we just created. I don't actually know. I think it's all okay because I'm right in front. Yes, it's all okay because I talk so loud. Woohoo! Call girls in game design. Call for girls in game design. And there's a mail. Call girls for in game design.
Yes, you see on the screen now. Call girls for in-game design.
Else.
That's how life works. That's how life works. Buying a fucking razor baby pad, horse pad, and then buying a Christmas house.
You know what's better than this? Beautiful. You play League with this? No. At my cot I do. You play League with this? Yes.
I play League with this.
Yeah, but that's a blue one.
I don't think
At my home desk, I have a
That's right. I play League with this.
It actually works.
I know. You aim with your mouse is then the twin stick. And you just put it on a high sensitivity and you can just.
You have your mouse and you have the camera on the other stick. It was like that on video.
Oh wow. Yeah, you can instantly move your camera. Actually, that may be even more performant than other players do it.
That's basically having two mice.
Yes. We set the next node. How linked lists work? Templated linked list class. And I'm now thinking about the insert, how it actually functions. So first we create a node and then we set the elements. Then we actually check if the first node is set. If the first node isn't set, then we set it. Then if it is set, we do not need to do this. Else, we need to set the last nodes to this one, and then set the last node to that. And when do we set the first node? Because we also need to do that. So it actually knows that underscore. The last. Previous. The previous to underscore last. Set it equal to new nodes. Okay, and remove would just be on an index. So first we need to go to that index. So int I index while the index I probably decrease the I. This is something fun. Look on my screen in 5 seconds. I think this will work. Yes, because 0 is actually false. I think that would work. Because normally 0 would be false. I can actually check that. I need to check that first though. Yeah. If 0.
What's the problem now? No. Only.
There is a.
Does it work?
If I fix my 24 errors that I have at the moment, yes.
42 now.
Yeah, 42.
You said 24.
Yeah.
42.
Oh yeah.
But the problem is it can be one error. If you return ticket, it gives so many. Oh, you did what I said. Yeah, way better. Way better. My IO detail is good. For a moment. It is. Others. My props are good. My houses are shit. But I think for those to do stuff on the top part, you're not allowed to. But why surrender that? You're not allowed to use certain. Oh, today, tomorrow. I use like I use
That capacity.
What you doing?
You're streaming.
The what?
I'm streaming.
He's streaming.
I'm streaming templates en linked lists.
Wat de fuck is de polygon?
Nu heb ik nog 3D voor Games 2. Gameplay programming, of ja, gameplay programming. En dat is een IGP vak, dacht ik. En dan heb ik ook nog AI programming.
You can't do it.
Zie je?
You will catch it.
I like your
So return. Why is it actually T? Reserve T.
With your house, please put them up. I was like, okay, quickly. This is what the teacher literally said. Yeah, we have class.
That's my TV.
I'll tell you.
Yeah, that's a trash can, I agree.
Yeah, always.
That looks very, very low effort. I'm not doing anything else.
I also made a traffic.
3.5 hours.
I also made a traffic cone.
I made that house in that time.
My traffic cone. Let's compare it and I'll explain it.
But my traffic code is not that deep.
I got going.
Yeah, no problem.
Extrude. Just extrude.
I just forgotten apparently. Yeah, but you can rewatch the stream probably.
I probably will skip through it when I do
But
Thanks for this.
Yeah, no problem. And it's P next. I'm just debugging a little bit.
like upload this.
Yeah, no, I first had 42 errors. Now I have 2.
Usually the first error is like 90%.
During class I had some.
Yes.
I had 1 error. I solved it. I got 7 errors. I solved one of those errors. I got 13. Solved one of those.
Function
27.
template has already been defined.
The more errors I solved, the more I got.
Yeah, okay, get, but the get hasn't been defined, has it? Oh, it has. Okay. Yep, 0 equals false. I just did it. 0 actually equals false because it did not say okay.
What?
It did not say okay.
Yep.
What?
Yeah, look at the screen.
When I run it,
Alright, I'm just gonna rerun it, just to show again. So in first output 7, and I press enter, it gives me again a prompt. But it did not output OK. If I press enter again, it exits. This is the first get chart, this is the second. 0 equals false.
okay.
So now when you decrease an int all the time, and suddenly when it gets at 0, the while loop will exit out because it's false. So when I'm using this magical code, it actually will work. Because the minus minus gets executed as last.
Yes.
Before the check happens. So this is something special, but it works.
It's actually very smart.
Yeah. Because when it exits out, I will normally have a node. So I will actually need to get the current.
Oh, I fucking paused that. That's why I didn't see anything new.
Okay. Also, let me see when I'm busy. Okay. So the remove should just take the previous one and the next one of them and just say to them link to each other. So we now have the I here. So we should have, if we have the current dot next equals, and I don't want to retype that code, so I'm lazy. At this moment of time, next and previous of the current should be equal to the next and the previous one. So current dot next set previous go to the current dot get previous. Now we also need to do the reverse. So current dot get previous. We need to set next of it to the current the next, then we delete so I do not know why this remove is that. Deletes the current because we do not need it anymore, and everything is back together. So that should work. And then the size should be underscore size, and this should also underscore size. Why is size not accessible here? Oh yeah, probably because I changed something, and the remove does not return something. Size should decrease itself, and when we insert something, size should increase itself. So now this should work. Shall we test it out and debug it? I mean, there won't be errors probably coming up, but there will be.
Warnings.
Yeah, there will be warnings. That I know for sure that there will be, or actually, there shouldn't be any warnings.
Let's build this.
But it's not warning; it's just implementational errors. It's really the functional code that's not working correctly.
Will we know if we don't build it?
No.
No.
But I need to make a test bench first.
So you can actually test it.
Yeah, so I actually can test it if it's doing the thing I want it to do. Thing. So I'm going to include it. By the way, linked lists also exist in std, called list, and dq and etc.
Why the fuck do we need to make
I know. Just so you know how the internals work. I'm actually gonna let the remove not delete its objects. I'm just gonna let it, or no, I know what I'm gonna do with that. I'm gonna let it delete it, but I'm gonna send through the actual entity that it has in the node. So it should be T instead, remove. So that we actually can see it when we remove it, what it is. Dot return yeah, but that No, I actually need to think. I think this is a problematic thing. Look at my code at the moment. So I create a new local variable, which should be a copy of the get, right? Yes. Then I return the object. What happens when we leave this with that local variable? When you what happens with that local variable?
It's deleted.
Yes. But now what I'm thinking is, does return make a copy of it? Yes or no? I think it does.
Yeah, it does. You're not passing by reference to the next copy.
Mm-hmm. But do remember that you sometimes can have that. And ints don't apply here. Because I'm gonna try to remove the second object and it should output the 7. It should output 7. And then I'm just gonna remove this. Ah! Errors! Insert. Insert should return the node, and the node should be the new node. Other is undefined.
Yes, I wanted to say that when you remove, you use other.mp first.
Copy pasting. It's not good. Oh. Oh my goodness, that's a long time ago. I've forgotten that thing. I forgot the point comma.
Oh my god.
Oh,
No.
yes, you did.
Forgot the monkey boy.
Wait, no appropriate default constructor available. For new node? What? Do I only have a constructor with something in it then? What? There are 2 overloads, but yeah. You gonna leave? This is the fuck? So it says that there are no appropriate default constructors available. Well, I implemented in the node class. Oh no, I only did this one. Oh, so I'm actually gonna copy paste that for 1 second. So enter, because I don't know it yet, but I do know the elements.
Holy shit, that's cool.
Okay.
We need 3 people watching now.
So this should work. It hurts.
Good luck.
It added. It actually added. Wasn't expecting that. You also gonna go?
No, I'm just gonna
Okay.
no,
Clean up a little bit.
yes.
How late is it? It's 4:28.
It's
Okay.
4:30.
So the problem here is that this was null pointer. This. No, this was null pointer. So the object itself that I created does not exist anymore. But in the remove break, so come on. Visual Studio is not responding. That can happen when you debug. Okay, get previous, set next, current.get next, current.get next is no pointer.
It's Saturday, goddammit.
Oh, but the previous is a null pointer. They're both null pointers. They're both null pointers. How is data then stored? What the heck?
I'm just gonna watch on your screen, that's easier.
Okay.
Save everything here.
Did it already do the delete? Because it actually added that on this one. What if did it get through? Did it give through the 6? Which is now wanting to set the 6 equal to the this is a null pointer. Okay, and it's in the set next.
Okay, what the hell?
On the get previous.
Yes!
Like I'm saying! So if it's the last element, if you want to remove the last element, there's actually need to be check here.
Shut down.
The current dot get previous is if it's not equal to null pointer. But it's actually fun to see it in memory. Because as you see, the first one is actually filled in here. You can see that the 5 actually has also an X, but does not have a previous, because it's the first one in the list. So if we go to the next, and actually this is the last one, so it should actually have the previous, the 5. It is not defined, so I probably done something wrong there. But the next is not filled in. So that's just a good thing. Because yeah, the 7 does not exist. And the last should be, it's actually the 7 with the 6 as its next.
What?
So there's a problem there.
No, wait, didn't you make it 7 and then delete it?
And then I wanted to remove it. But there's apparently a mistake made in setting them up. So a good tip is when you suddenly, it's just place a breakpoint anywhere in your code.
Yes.
And then just go look at the variables and how they're stored.
That's helped me a lot of times already.
Yeah. Because now I know that in my insert code here, there's something wrong. And I thought there was something wrong because it doesn't look correctly. But no, this should be fixed. So if I go on, it's output 7.
And it shouldn't it output 5, you said?
It should output 7.
Oh.
It's actually doing it right. But what I now want to know is if we go before the remove, we go here, what is actually in our vector? So our vector contains a first and a last. The first has an element, the previous element is 0, and the next is that. The next has the previous, okay, so the previous is not correct, but the next seemed to be correct, and then so I have a recursiveness here. So it's going from 6 to 7, 6 to 7, 6 to 7, 6 to 7,
That's
6
not
to 7.
supposed to happen, is
No,
it?
it isn't. So what I probably did wrong is when I set the 6, so 5, the 6 here, then when I created this 7, instead of setting the previous to the 6, I set the next to the 6.
Oh, yeah.
The same happened with the 6, which is why the 5 is not in the previous.
Yes.
So if we go back to the node and go back to the insert, no, it's actually in linked list insert. So I create a new element, right? I put in the elements. I check if my first thing here is a null pointer. If it is, then I set the first element to the, because it's the first element in the list. If else, we get a new node that has been made. We set the previous. So we set the previous to the last, which is actually at the moment a null pointer, if you have not created. So here, last should also be equal to the new node. Because if there's there are non-elements, that means that there's no elements in there. So we should also put the last one too, because the first one is also the last one. Okay, and then we say the last node. Oh, we actually do that already. So we set on the previous to be the last, and on the last we set the next to that. And then we set the last. Okay, let's check it again.
Still something recursive.
Yeah, but now between 5 and 7. 6 is actually not in there.
It's a bit better.
No, it's not. You're not. Something wrong with my logic here. I'm actually gonna look at the where I create them. But I actually use the insert, so we should have two cases. A case where my first is a null pointer. There it should just take the first one, set it to the new node, get the last one. So okay, that should be correct. Then if you go in the else, so that means that the first null pointer is not set to that. Then we need to check the last one and set the last one say that the last which is also the first at the moment, last one is the next one. Okay, set the next one of it, and then we need to say that the new node previous is the last one, yes, and then we need to say that the last one here is also the new node. So as you see, these two should not be here. It can actually be here.
You had that already.
I had it already. So what is then wrong about this thing? Size is 3, so that's correct. We go from 5 to 6 to 7, 6 to 7. But then the next is actually set wrong. Maybe because in the node class, did I do something wrong in the node class? So set previous. There is a mistake. It's previous here. Yeah, that's the next. It's just wrongly named. So this is this all along. This is what caused it. Journal. So guys, always be careful. And you see, it's working nicely because this goes back, and it can go back, and this is enabled. So now it works. And now it says this was a null pointer. Yeah, I already thought why previous. It's actually here. And I need to place this. Because next can be and the previous one cannot be. Also, when the index is 0 in the remove, I need to do something else. It's a special case. Because of there are actually two more cases here in the remove. One if you are 0, and 2 if you hit the last one on the while loop. It will say that current is suddenly a null pointer, and it will error out, which actually is no problem, because you shouldn't go out of bounds, but the zeroed element should still be accessible. Also, when you fill in -1, that's a real problem, because then you have an infinite loop.
Those are really fun.
Yes, so there is a problem here.
While I minus,
Yes.
you're gonna need to do it.
No, I'm just gonna put it here.
Oh.
And check here if I is less or equal than 0.
Can't you just check while I? Because if I is
yeah,
0,
no, but -1 is still true.
Oh yeah. Yeah, okay.
-1 would be true. So I actually need to check if it's lower than 0,
Yeah.
because if somebody says the index is -1, then this instantly goes out and then it takes the current one. Same with 0, it actually takes the one. But when there is none in there, the first one will be null. And then I need to just have a check here. If current is equal to null, enter. Okay. And I want you to return that's a problem. Yeah. Here we have a problem.
What is the problem?
That I cannot instantiate an empty object. I think. No, I think this does not work. Or does it? Let's see if this works. Shit.
Declare to the fire.
No, that's undefined. Wait, just T. This was no pointer. Why was the... It's a set next and the get previous. So the current, the previous is a null pointer, yes. The previous, why is the previous a null pointer? Because it's 5. Why is it looking at 5? That's my question now. Why is it looking at 5? It shouldn't. Because our index was 2. So I is bigger than 2, so I should be... I did not decrease. What do you think happened?
No idea.
I think I know what happened.
What?
I think I know what happened. So I think what happened here, and I'm gonna, because I know that I don't need this if, is that I'm gonna put in between this, I'm gonna put a C, I'm gonna not delete it for a second and see what happens. Still 0. Oh, that's strange. That is actually strange. Then I'm gonna put this here. See what current holds.
It doesn't go through the code.
Yes, it does not go through the code. So does it get here? Yes, it does.
Wait, what?
What is current? It's null. Let's go a little bit above. What happens? So current here is first 5. Yes. So we say continue. Current should be 6. Yes. I is 0. I is 0. So I say continue. I is -1.
Why does it still continue?
Because of that. It's while true, not while false.
Oh yeah.
So this now gives us the 5. Say continue, it will give us 6. If you say continue, it will be here at the 7. If you say continue again, the objects will be irrelevant at the moment because it's not really connected to 7. But now I actually want to do this. It will 7, but I also want to remove the object because we say remove. Breakpoints. When sale 7. So it works. I want you guys, you too, that are still watching, maybe, don't know how many people, 2 people, so 1 more guy.
That's probably me and Ian.
Yep.
Ian, if you're there, say something.
Okay. I want you guys, I will upload, so I will stop the stream then, and I will upload this in the comment section. So that then you guys can actually do, if you guys have questions about it, and also you can make an in-depth test if this works.
Yeah.
And make a couple of test cases and see what is still breaking, and then maybe fix it. Because I know that I left out a couple of statements and a couple of things that are not implemented. And you guys should find them and fix them. It's just a really fun exercise to do in this project. So I'll see you guys probably tomorrow.
Suppose since you're joining
The D&D.
Yes.
Yes, I still need to make a character.
I still need to level up my character.
I need to make a character at level 4. Which will be fun because I actually need to look at the D&D 5. Version 5. And see what all this changed and is different. So I will see you guys later. And have fun!